Hello, welcome back. This is going to be a weekly check-in video for the week of May 27th, 2025. I have in the past been doing videos where I've been on a walk and I've just been monologuing about how the week has gone, what I did last week, what I did this week, or what I'm going to do this week. And I wanted to change up the format a little bit. So I'm going to try something new today, and I'm going to use this Google Drawing application to write out all of the things that I accomplished last week, all of the progress that we've made on Linkadex, to help visualize how much is actually getting done. I think that'd be kind of cool and more descriptive than me just saying, I worked on Linkadex, which could mean anything. I have this to-do list of stuff for Linkadex, and I've been chugging away at this for 2 or 3 weeks now, and the list continues to grow as I discover new stuff that I have to do, but we are making good progress. As of I think yesterday, released the fourth video in the vlogging working on public collections series. I've actually recorded 17 videos thus far, but I've only edited 4 of them. I need to focus on actually coding right now and not video editing. Sprinkling in video editing where I can, but my head's been down for the most part on building. And so I'm running pretty far behind on the editing front, but that's fine. There's no rush. The purpose of those videos are to vlog the entire process of editing a major feature from front to back, and the entire process, and it's become a pretty major feature. It's a big feature. Anyway, we're gonna jump into this. I'm going to jump over here, and we're gonna call this weekly updates. Weekly update, May 27th, 2025. And I haven't done this before. I'm making this up as I go along, so we're all learning together how Google Drawings works. And this is not going to look pretty, but I am hoping it's going to be complete. If this ends up sucking, I won't do it again this way, but we'll see. So, okay, I have a list of the stuff that I've done on another monitor, but I'm going to be writing these out one by one and explaining them, giving a little bit of context for each one. So let's make another one of these guys, and we're going to say last week. And this is a header, and you're going to go kind of in the middle. I'll move things around as we need more space. That's not what I want. And then we're going to do another text box, and this text is going to be smaller. Or bullet points of the thing? Yes. And we're going to make you 10. That'll work for now. And you're going to be kind of centered here. Okay. I have enough vertical space, I think. We're going to need a lot of this. So the first thing that we did was make public collection header look more pretty. So that was on the Linkadex public collection page. If I go to collection and I go to a collection, the header, this was the first style pass we did of the public collection subheader, which is this component right here. I'll highlight it. There we go. It's all of this card. making this card look prettier. Let me move this over so we don't have this blank screen in the way. Okay, so we also disabled the side drawer category and tag dropdowns if current user does not equal author, collection, author. I'm pseudocoding this. This isn't going to be like syntactically correct. This was going through this side drawer and making sure that this button, this dropdown, was disabled if the user that's logged in does not equal the user that created the collection, and or if no user is logged in. So if I log out here and this page reloads, these buttons are now all disabled. And we had to do this in a million different places. This kept on sneaking up on me. We had to do that on the drop downs. We had to do that for this button. We had to do that for the favorites button. We had to do that for the drop down, like the edit and delete link over here. We had to do that for this button right here. That just kept sneaking up on me. For select favorites, that ended up being a lot. We also had to add linkadex text on side drawer header. This was a really small one. We added the text linkadex right here. It didn't used to be there. Now it is. We also moved the linkadex text to be under the drawer instead of right here. I'm getting ahead of myself, actually. Let's just go through the list that I have. Disable toggle favorite button for non-logged in. We're gonna just keep on saying this one. If current user does not equal collection author. So that was disabling this little heart icon. I talked about that already. We also added tooltips for logged out users for side drawer, cats and tags, categories and tags. Side drawer, categories, and tags. So that's the tooltip that you see when you hover here or here. There's also tooltips here and there. Lots of tooltips. Pass active user as props to top buttons in side drawer. So the side drawer now has to be aware of there being or not being a current user. And so instead of having the side drawer check in a bunch of different places what the current user is, which means it would hit the cache, and if something wasn't in the cache, it would make a network request. Instead of doing that in multiple different places, we're doing it now in one place, the very top of the tree of components for the side drawer, and we're passing the active user down to all of the components that care about it, which is all of them. So we have only one place where the active user is fetched in the side drawer, and I think that makes our code more elegant, the data flow more elegant, and might save us some pain in the future of multiple requests being triggered for trying to fetch the same user. Apollo's pretty good at not making Apollo's pretty good at not making network calls when you don't have to, but what we did is like the most clean way of doing it. I think it cleans up the code a lot. We fixed names. That was a bad. That was probably like a one-liner or something. I'm not even actually going to include that. No, I'm going to include it. I don't know what that was. I could check the actual commit if I wanted to. I don't. Pass. Oh, wrong one. Okay. Custom node for categories dropdown handles logged out users for collections. Custom node for categories dropdown. Custom node for categories dropdown handles logged out users for collections. So these are the custom nodes, and this is the dropdown. So custom node for categories, dropdown handles logged out users for collections. Oh, okay. So this is this button, and then the custom node dropdowns. So these are the custom nodes. So this is this commit for categories dropdown handles logged out users for collections. These are custom nodes. The drag and drop functionality, that component is called a custom node, like the bottommost component in the drag and drop tree stuff. So custom node for categories dropdown handles logged out users for collection is this custom node component handling a logged out user. It's disabling this dropdown. And we have the same thing for tags and folders. Tags and folders. There's also a bug. There was also bug, fix bug causing write access buttons to be disabled / links. So on the links page, we introduced a bug where you would go to your, oh, I'm not logged in anymore. When you went to your links page, all of these would now be disabled because we weren't passing the current user to these components. The side drawer is rendering a different tree of a different wrapper if we're on the links page versus a public collections page. And when we are on the public collections page, we're passing an active user as an argument. When we were on the links page, we weren't doing that yet. That was an additional thing we did for public collections, but because we didn't also do that for links, but these wrappers eventually still end up calling the same presentation code, we were lacking active user. So the links page assumed, oh, the user's not logged in, which is not true, but we weren't passing the argument for it to know that it wasn't true. So all of these were suddenly disabled, which was kind of funny. So I had to go and fix that. Everywhere. We fixed a bug for fixed side drawer loading. This would have been loading content in the side drawer. I don't recall exactly what that was. Again, I could go check the actual code. I should have a better commit message. For the sake of time, I'm going to move on because we have a lot more. Handle backend errors when user goes to non-existent collection page. So our backend always assumed that you would have a collection. If I go to the queries, oh, wrong one, here, queries, query type. There was all of these bits of code where it fetches the collection and then does a thing by calling ID on the collection. And this was returning a fatal error when the collection didn't exist. Like a syntax error, not syntax, but calling ID on nil isn't a thing. So what we had to do is add this line right here, raise GraphQL error, collection not found unless collection, would gracefully handle that. Which is something we absolutely need to do, because if we have all of these places where a user can go to collection/thing and see a bunch of stuff, it's inevitable that these are going to eventually be mistyped, and we should gracefully handle that versus having a bunch of 500 errors thrown every single time that happens. That's going to blow up my roll bars, and it's just bad to do it that way. So we fixed it. We also are now redirecting users to homepage if the collection does not exist. So long term, we are going to redirect users to some kind of collections list page, some page that has a list of all of the public collections or some subset of them at least. There's going to be a browse collections page. That's for a future phase though. We're not doing that as part of phase 2 of public collections. So for now, we're redirecting to the home page instead. There isn't a browse page. There's nothing else I can show them. I can either error out or I can just redirect to the home page. We're redirecting for the home page to the home page. Won't be doing that for long, but that's what we're doing until we have the browse collection page live. We did a minor refactor of list users collections. The list users collection page is this page, and this has ended up having a couple different passes on a couple different refactors and improvements. We now have an edit and delete collection, we have copy URL, and we have a go to collection icon, and we list the description, and we list the title and truncate it with the 3 dots. All of these are going to be their own bullet points. This was the first part of that. Update my collection rows. So again, part of what I just discussed. Author of collection can edit a collection's name and description. So this was new functionality. A author of a collection can edit the collection, change the name, change the description. Delete collection, backend, dependent, destroy on categories, tags, and folders. So we also made it so that when a collection is deleted, all of the links, categories, tags, and folders are also deleted as part of the collection. That wasn't happening before, but I want to preface that too with nobody could create collections yet. This was just me testing database stuff. That's why collections were in production and are in production, but I'm the only one that can make collections. And I knew this was an issue, and I did not launch this until I had that fixed. So I've orphaned some collection records and some link records in production, making sure our databases were all lined up with a massive refactor I had to do to create the concept of collections, but which was not vlogged. That's something that was phase 1, was setting the bones of this and doing the rewrite of the sidebar, which I'm not going to get into now. But for phase 2, I knew I had to do that, fix the this dependent destroy thing, and we did. Okay, lost my spot. Okay. We also made it so that users can edit and delete their collection from the view collection page. So we have this little drop down right here for edit and delete collection, and we plopped it on to the public collection page. This same drop down also exists on the Your Collections page. So if you are logged in and you are the author of the collection, you can edit and delete the collection from here and from the actual collection page. If you're not the author, these items are disabled. I'll log out again and just show that. Disabled. Add copy link button to public collection page, and add copy link icon button to view collection page. So that's this button right here. I can copy the URL, then I can paste it. I can send it to other people if I want. And if I log in, I can also do the exact same thing. If I'm on the collections page, I can copy various different URLs and then share that with anyone however I like. User collection page has copy link button. Yeah, that's redundant. Fix loading collection inside drawer when we don't need it. So this was a optimization and or minor bug fix. The side drawer was loading collections when we didn't need it to. If I go to network, not performance, network, not, they change order, that's not fair. So it's not constantly reloading the collection anymore. And if I'm just on the links page, it's not constantly loading. Oh, what happened? Things are slow on local, and I'm also recording in 4K now, so I'm recording in high resolution, so my computer's starting to crawl. It's starting to feel it. So there we go. We're not triggering a bunch of needless network requests here. And if I go to collection and go to a collection and I toggle the side drawer constantly, I'm not triggering a bunch of needless network requests here. That was a bug that we fixed. We added a report collection button. That is this guy right here, which will open up your email provider and say, report collection, please fill out details. If I click this, yeah, it still opens up on another browser. It's opening up on my other window, but it does work. That's something I will test in production too. Update max length of collection name. We made it shorter. So the max length of a collection's name was 255 characters, which made this insane. Right now it's 60. If I make this longer, so 120, this starts to become untenable really quickly. And it was like a lot longer than this. Like that just looks dumb. And a title, like this is no longer a title, this is like a short story. So I limited the length to 60 or 64 characters, I forget which. And now it's more sane. There's still a fix that I have to do on mobile. This starts to break. This is just like not usable due to how big the header is. Like that's terrible. So we're gonna fix that, but that's a future problem. It's on the to-do list, but we're talking about last week right now. So moving on. We added model validations for resource count within collection and tests. So I limited the number of categories and tags and folders that could be in a collection and links. And I also limited the number of collections that a user can create. There has to be some limit. I set, I think, generous limits, but they're also low enough that I can increase them, but I don't think I'm ever going to have to decrease them because I don't want to ever be in a position where I have to take things away from people. People hate that. But I might be able to increase them over time. But there has to be some kind of limit. I can't let people make a collection with 4 billion links. That's going to just brick everything, and that's not Like that's not, whatever that collection is, it's not helpful to people. Likewise, I can't let users make 1 billion collections. They would just, that's not reasonable. There has to be some limit. So I set limits. It's not about nickeling and diming anyone. It's about like protecting the application. Somebody could write a script and just generate thousands and thousands and thousands of collections, all full of garbage, and the work for me to deal with that and the potential negative consequences of that are quite high. And it's just, you just have to, that's just a basic thing of web development. You just don't let people do unlimited stuff. You're just asking for somebody to find a way to break everything in all kinds of exciting ways. We banned not safe for work stuff in collections. This is obvious. On a collection, when you create a collection, it now says, no, not safe for work or adult content. I was looking into like age gates and stuff like that, and it's just not tenable right now to go down that path, depending on what state you're in and the amount of like not safe for work content on your site. Like different laws apply, and you might need to ask people for their ID if you're in like Texas or something. And I'm not trying to make a not safe for work site. Like I'm not making a not safe for work site. I wanted to cover my bases and just let people put a not safe for work flag on things if it made sense to do so. But for now, we're blanket banning it. And then I made a way to ban users for creating public collections and ban users from creating public collections. So that's cool. I also resized H1s, H2, H3, H4. I think that's actually it. I think H5 and H6 are basically just bold. No, H5. And H6 is just like bold text. This does mean that I need to update the home page. If I go to the home page, this doesn't look quite right anymore. So after I launch public collections, I'm going to go back and I need to rewrite the home page anyway. So I'm going to do that. Not super worried with this because the very next thing I'm going to do, I think, is fix the home page. But yeah, this text used to be way bigger. If I actually go to linkedx.com, oh, this is one of my demo accounts. But if we go to I got too many Linkedx's open. This is the size of the title right now. And this is what it's going to look like. I don't think either one of these look particularly good, but whatever. We're going to rewrite the homepage. We also audited usage of H1s, H2s, etc. So theoretically, every page is supposed to have one H1 at the very top. I guess it doesn't have to be at the very top, but every page should have a single H1, and then underneath an H1 should be an H2, and then underneath H2s should be H3s. That's like the right way to do things. Having one H1 is most important when it comes to SEO and also when it comes to accessibility. So we fixed that. So there's now one H1 on each page. On the homepage, it's like bookmarks, but way better. For pricing, it's Linkedx pricing. Blog and updates brings you to an external to the blog, not the web application. If I log in, this page does not have an H1, but that's okay. The account page, this is now an H1. Download page, this is now an H1. the collection page, this is now in H1. Organizations, this is now in H1. So we went through and we audited that. And then also all of the modals now. This is not an H1. I think we made it an H2. So we're never violating the 1H1 on a page thing. There's more work we could do here, but it's low priority compared to all of the other stuff I have to do. So I'm not too worried about it. But we made all the H1s correct. So that was a step in the right direction. We're slowly making things better. Fix icon buttons on collection subheader card. So this is the subheader card. And these are the buttons. Oh, this was the button location. So when you start shrinking the screen, things were getting weird, and they're still like a little weird. And I have a pending, like, again, the next thing we're going to do for public collections, it's on the active to-do list. And here somewhere, here, part of collapsing the public collection card. When this gets small, this top card right here, things start to not look good. But the placement of these buttons we needed to fix, and we did fix. So now they're staying roughly where they're supposed to be, where they should be, versus before these were messing with the title and forcing this UI when you collapse it to be super broken instead of just kind of broken. So that's what this one was. Update logged in header to match logged out header. So before, when the user was logged in, Linkadex, the word Linkadex would be right here. Blog pricing and updates would not be here. Instead, Linkadex would be right in the middle. You only saw blog pricing and updates if you were logged in. Sorry, if you were logged out. What I did is I kept these in the middle, moved Linkadex over to the left, and then we also added Linkadex onto the side drawer, so the word Linkadex is always visible. When the browser gets really narrow, those blog pricing and updates go away, but you can still use the side drawer and then you still see Linkadex. I know this is broken, I'm gonna fix it. That's so, I know. I'll fix that. But that's what this bullet point was. We added a go to collection button. So that's on the collections, like a user's collection page. Go to collection brings you to the collection. It's pretty cool. That's what this is. And then we updated copy on create collection and edit collection modal. So this is the last thing that we did. I did it yesterday, although the video is going to come out in a long time for now because I got 11 more to update before. That's going to be video 17. I'm on video 4. So more than that. Doesn't matter. I digress. When you are creating or editing a modal, I updated this copy actually right here, to make it more obvious to people that collections are public. Everyone has access to your collection if you make a collection. That's the whole point of collections. And that also the collections are not anonymous, but they're associated to your display name. So that's what I did. And yeah, that's what we did last week. That is 1 week of work. This was a ton of code and a lot of hours of working, and it's not bad for 1 week's worth of work. That's a lot. We're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 34. We have 34 bullet points checked off in a week. Remaining, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25. We have 25 remaining. Although this is not complete, I'm going to continue to be adding things to the to-do list as I discover them and as we start doing more fine-tuned, more detailed quality passes. But we're in good shape. We're like that's really good progress. So this is taking a lot longer than I expected. I did not think public collections was going to be this big of an undertaking, but that's, I think, the nature with any major project. If you're like doing kind of a greenfield project you haven't done before, is you don't know what you don't know, and things pop up, and it's part of the process. I didn't spend a bunch of time writing out every possible side case and whatnot I possibly could. I just started building, and I had a rough idea of what I wanted, and I'm having a lot of fun building it. It's my company, my project, so I'm allowed to do it however I want. My specs were just solve this problem, not code in this box. So I have the freedom to mess around and change my opinion. But anyway, that's what we did last week. So this week, it's a weird way for that to work, but whatever. I'm going to, and this is going to be a lot smaller. Let's make you like here. That's not what I want. And no, cool. Okay. We're going to continue public collections. And that's the only thing I'm going to put on this list. In my real life, things are on here too, such as continue the workout every day, run on Sundays, lean diet. I'm doing a cut right now, but that's not relevant. I'm going to be continuing working on public collections. We have this to-do list, so all I'm going to do is keep on executing things on this to-do list, and if I find a new thing I have to do, I add it to the to-do list, and then we'll check it off. And I have been behind the scenes auditing this to-do list, not in the vlogs or anything, just I guess offline. Oh, I mean, this is online, this is Notion, but whatever. I've been editing this. So I've started to punt things into public collections phase 3. I also have a backlog and stuff, but yeah, that's where we're at. So things are going great. They're taking much longer than I expected, but I'm happy with the progress. I think I'm doing good work here. I think we're making Linkadex better, not just for public collections, but in general. There's just some quality improvements that we've made. The code quality is getting better. We're fixing some of these, well, that doesn't count, but like the console errors and stuff. And the project has an overall positive impact on the code quality. We're paying down technical debt, not a ton of it, but we are paying down technical debt while also introducing a major feature to Linkadex, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm happy with this. Anyway, that's what I got for this video. That's this week's update video, and yeah, I got a lot of work to do, so I'm going to end it there. Thanks for watching, and David out.